Hey learners, what is up? Let us learn something today from Master J. For today's video, we are going to discuss some basic ideas about sets. Now, what is a set? A set is a well-defined group of distinct objects that share a common characteristic. These objects can either be letters, numbers, people, or even planets. And these objects that we have in a set are called elements. When we say sets, it is not enough to describe them as a group. They should be well defined. Well defined means they are clearly stated or described. When they are well defined, you can tell right away that a particular element is really a part or member of that group. Given these two sets of groups, vowels in the alphabet and enjoyable subjects, we can say that the first one is well defined. Because if we write the elements of the vowels in the alphabet, we will surely have the same answers. We have A, E, I, O, and U. Therefore, it is a set. On the other hand, if we try to list down the elements of the second group, our answers will vary. I may write math as one of the enjoyable subjects, but it may not be the case for you. This is where we will be having different elements. That is why the second group is not well defined. And so, it is not considered a set. Now, how do we represent a particular set? Let's have the following examples. Set of whole numbers less than 10. Before we represent this set, let us first familiarize ourselves with the difference between counting numbers and whole numbers. Remember that counting numbers always start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. However, in whole numbers, 0 is included, followed by the counting numbers. To represent a set, we always use any capital letter. In this case, I will name our set as set A. Then we write equal sign, followed by an open bracket. Since we are talking about the set of whole numbers less than 10, we write 0 as our first element. Then comma, 1, comma, 2, comma, until we write the last element, which is in this case 9. Since the elements are whole numbers less than 10. Then we close the elements with a bracket. Remember that elements are separated by a comma. So this is how we represent a set. By the way, counting numbers are also called natural numbers. For our second example, we have set of letters in the word mathematics. Before we answer this one, take note that the elements are written using lowercase letters. And same elements are only written once. As you can see, in the word mathematics, there are letters that are the same. And so, these repeated letters will only be written once. So let's name our set as set L. Then equal sign, followed by an open bracket, then we write the elements. So we have M, A, T, and the remaining letters. Then close bracket. For our third example, let us have the set of even numbers between 10 and 20. Remember that even numbers are numbers that can be divided by 2, like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. In this example, let us name our set as set E. Since we are talking about even numbers between 10 and 20, 10 and 20 are not included even though they are even numbers. We start with 12, then 14, until the last element, which is 18. Then close it with a bracket. Let us have more examples. This time we have set of primary colors. Let us name our set as set P. Our elements then will be red, yellow, and blue. By the way, arrangement of the elements doesn't matter. Writing the elements as red, yellow, and blue is just the same if you write it as yellow, blue, and red. This goes as well with our previous examples. Now let us have the set of natural numbers less than 8. Let us name our set as set N. Remember that natural numbers are also called counting numbers. Therefore, we start with 1 up to the last element, which is 7. Then close it again with a bracket. So that is how we typically represent or write the elements of a given set. Now let us identify if the following are elements of a given set or not. By the way, this is the symbol for the phrase is an element of, and this is the symbol for the phrase is not an element of. These are our given sets. Let A be the set of even numbers between 2 and 10. Set B will have the following elements. And let C be the set of whole numbers less than 10. Now, is 2 an element of set B or not? Obviously, it is. Therefore, we write the symbol for element. How about this one? Is 9 an element of set A? 9 is not an even number even though it is in between 2 and 10. Therefore, it is not an element of A. Is 10 an element of C? Ten is not an element of C. Is 0 an element of C? Since we are talking about whole numbers less than 10, therefore 0 is an element of C. So those are the basic ideas about set. Before we end our video, take note of the following. A set is denoted by a capital letter. The elements are denoted by small letters. Each element is separated by a comma inside curly brackets. Same elements are written only once. And the order of elements does not matter. So there you have it, class. I hope you learned something from our video. Thank you for listening and see you again next time, Masters.